Yeah, there's another edition of What the Fuck happenings in the YouTube atheist community. Tired again. Long night in Stickam, but I'll get to Stickam later. Start off, alright, well, let's go with TJ first, the amazing atheist. So, he's really saying some stupid things lately. It's just really not good. Alright, so again, he did the vegetarian thing, and now in his Sunday boring special, he yammers on some more about it and just says some more really dumb things. And so he basically uses the 5-year-old excuse. Well, Jimmy does it. Well, he did it. Kind of bullshit. So now apparently we're only held to the natural standard. So if nature's a cruel, sadistic bitch, we can be a cruel, sadistic bitch because we can just compare everything we do to what nature does to animals. And therefore, as long as we're not as bad as that's nature's worst, well, then we're doing just fine. And he apparently has a perception that most animals are living long lives in our captivity, in our farms. They apparently live out a really long life, and we feed them 3 meals a day, and they're very comfortable, and they like having probes shoved up their asses and being artificially inseminated and all that stuff. It's big fun for them. It's just, and he says he's been to slaughterhouses. I don't think he has. But he certainly hasn't been to the farms themselves, apparently, because if you go to a pig farm, I've seen one of those. It's horrific. It's horrific from a mile away. From a mile away, you're already sensing the horrificness. That's how horrific it is, because the odor will kill you. You've driven through Texas. I mean, didn't you smell anything? And didn't that smell indicate to you that maybe these animals are a little bit overcrowded and there's maybe a little bit too many of them and they're probably wallowing in their own shit? That didn't occur to you? But it's fine. It's a great life. The animals like wallowing in their own shit. They really do. You can prove it. Just put a cage around them and you'll see they'll just love doing that. It's really stupid. I mean, look, most animals are in fucking cages. Chickens, especially, they don't live no long life. If they're laying hens, they just lay fucking eggs, get injected with hormones. Just when they're not laying enough eggs, they get killed. If they're meat-producing birds, all right, they live 2 years, maybe. I mean, I think they raise turkeys now and incredibly fast. So there's no long life there. There's a short life, and you're executed, period. And you're so fucked up. We've so manipulated their breeding stock that a lot of these animals can't even support their own weight. I mean, they have terrible little liabilities and miseries because of how we've perverted them. We've turned them into, the aliens would probably like your kind of human, big, giant, fat, monstrous human. Be very good for the slaughtering. And that's what we've done to animals, is turn them into creatures, into monsters. So fuck you and your bullshit. Comparing a civilization, intelligent humans, to dumb forces is really dumb. Unless you have some sort of, you're one of these mystics that think that nature's God, that nature has a brain that knows what it's doing. I mean, you're really that stupid. You're just obedient to your natural drives and desires, and you really don't have to apply this intelligence thing. It's just a scheming tool that you use to manipulate your environment to make yourself satisfied, and that's as far as you take your intellect. Well, it's obvious it's as far as you take it. It's just deplorable rhetoric. And so then he ranted a little bit on the Islam and how we got to do something about these people. It's just so ironic. Not to realize it's a political organization more than it's about religion now. And they're fighting a draconian, horrible force called us. And they have every right to fight the fuck back. And, but to blame it on religion, it really doesn't have anything to do with religion. Religion is just the mechanism, it's like the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King wasn't about Christ. He was about getting some political action done, and religion was just the infrastructure through which that was accomplished. And that's all that Islam is when it comes to the violence shit. They don't care about any of that crap. They're no more violent than fundamentalist Christians if they all agree with each other, if there's no tension, if there's no reason to use the mechanism of their religious passion and motivate it into conflicts. But I mean, if you look, you look at history. I mean, the Christians had to be the most violent religion on earth. I mean, they ravaged the world. So come on, grow a brain. They even used a word like you called them bloodthirsty, and it's just kind of a funny irony because it appears that TJ is very bloodthirsty. I mean, you're the one that's just, you have to just consume these animals because you have declared them a them. They're just a them. And so you can fuck with them and marginalize their welfare. So he does condition his statement now, and he does say, well, it would be good if we treated them well. They always do that little backsliding. Yeah, it'd be good. But that's not going to happen in the commercial market unless people wear t-shirts that you ridicule and make fun of, unless people do political action things, unless sexy girls propagandize for the subject and the issue. Then that kind of shit isn't going to happen. That kind of change isn't going to happen unless people throw the images in people's faces and get them motivated. But you ridicule that. I mean, you're such a duplicitous monster. I mean, can't you be consistent? You can't even be consistent in your own paragraphs. That's how bad you've gotten. It's not even that you're not consistent from video to video, which was your old tradition. You're not even consistent now in your own damn paragraphs. Sentence to sentence, your inconsistency is showing. And this whole idea that we're all supposed to be evolving like you, like somehow every human being is supposed to be some sort of intellectually evolving creature, that they never reach a plateau, that they never reach a point where they understand something, and they have, they have to pick at it for their whole life or something, like some kind of scab they'll pick at forever. No, they understand stuff. They read about the round earth and they say, yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to go with that round earth thing. I don't need to read any more on it. I got enough information. I know the truth. So it really, this idea that you're going to somehow measure intelligence by how much people change their mind, what a pile of shit. It's nonsense. And if you're doing that, if you're still evolving, you probably shouldn't be opening your fucking goddamn mouth, because the odds are you're just talking recklessly then, right? I mean, if you're not confident, if you're not secure in the crap you're preaching, then maybe you shouldn't be goddamn preaching. Did it ever occur to you that might be a sign of, whoa, I should slow down because my car is falling apart if my car is changing into something else every 5 minutes? Or whatever the proper metaphor is. I mean, you're a little bit out of control then, aren't you? I mean, if you can't stay on the road, there's no point in you traveling the fucking road. No, I'm not saying shut the fuck up, but, if that's the implication, maybe it's okay that's the implication. Maybe you ought to know what you're talking about before you open your big, fat mouth. Anyway, it wasn't just to do a little scurvy little, tattletaling. I mean, I did go one of his blog TV sessions, and he's just ragging on women, just talking about how dumb they are and all this crap. And it was just so ironic, about the fact that the guy with 40,000 subs can get away with that shit, But us regular folk can't dare say anything even slightly maligning to traditional woman culture. Let's call it that, woman culture. I mean, I obviously don't think women are incapable of, hard philosophy, but culturally it hasn't been encouraged in them, and a lot of them have other distractions, and distractions I might get caught up in too if I was a woman, because that's the way the world works. They're in a different competitive battle than men are, and so obviously they're going to have different priorities. But anyway, he didn't get into that whole psychology of it. He just got into a bunch of women can never compete with the master brain, amazing atheist kind of bullshit. I'll never find a woman that can compete with my intelligence, and therefore I'll have to live alone, because I won't have any, whatever, she-male to whip me properly. Whatever. So enough of that fucking asshole. He's just getting to be more and bigger asshole. He's just consume the universe eventually, I suppose. Alright, fake Sagan. Another forget about it. Gone to magic blah blah bullshit land. Anyway, became a partner. Who saw that coming? No, but it did seem like that's where he's heading. I'm going to be making more videos, and I'm buying a lot of guns. So you figure he's got to pay for his guns, so he uses partnership money to buy his new AK-47. That he'll no doubt, as soon as that comes in the mail, he'll be showing that one to everybody. Look how shiny and pretty my man killer is. And that's what he wants it for, to kill men. He wants to kill people working for our government who might knock on his fucking door because he might have broken a law or done something else. But of course, if they're ever coming to his door, it's not his fault, it must be their fault. So he's going to try to shoot civilization down. He knows he's going to lose the war, but he's going to try to take out as many of them as possible. That makes a lot of sense. See how many, try to make them all orphaned their little kids and shit, just because you got to take somebody out with you, whatever. I don't think the day will happen, but who knows what's going to happen. All these gun nuts everywhere. This violence will solve something. It won't solve anything. So anyway, it's just a dumb investment. But whatever, it's his money.